There's something about very detailed interiors that just makes a place feel 10 times more interesting to look at. And for this place, the more you stare, the more you kind of just unravel little small details here and there that kind of make sense. But this is just one thing I love about creating. It's that whatever space you are given, it's all up to you and how you decide to shape it. I wanted to make some sort of starter house here, but just kind of got carried away and ended up making this potion library type situation. But as long as it has a bed, it'll do just for now. So we have a lot on the agenda today, and one of those things being a relocation in living. I guess you can consider this a home, but the way I see it, it's more of a potion house. What I was more thinking of was an idea where we have a house just right where in front of this hill is, surrounded by some sort of little lake. Now, yeah, of course I do understand that this is somewhat of a river here, but if we could somehow find a way to section off this certain area, add a whole bunch of trees around it, and pretty much enclose the space, we'll start to end up getting more of a lake feel. Thought it'd be better showing you guys the top of here. Let's see if this is any better. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, like I was saying, we're gonna section off this entire little area here. We're gonna add our own custom terrain, custom trees, custom bushes, whatever, and we're gonna make this place feel a lot more alive than it actually is, because as in right now, it's just an open, vast plains biome, pretty much. But yeah, like I said, the idea, we're gonna put a nice big lake house right over here, and essentially we'll just kind of build around it and see where it goes. Now, before we get deep into any of that, I want to quickly show you my current storage room, and this is where we stand. This is not gonna do at all. This place just needs a makeover. I mean, don't even ask why I have a llama in the corner of this place. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it's somewhat organized. I mean, if you have the woods, you have it all right here, stones right here. But apart from that, it's just not that convenient. And yeah, this is pretty much my food farm at the moment. It's just not gonna work. So what is my plan? My plan is to go for more of a cave-styled storage room. Now, it's still going for the same idea of being underground, but we're just gonna give it a little bit more character, and it's gonna feel a little bit more realistic, as opposed to just having a square box right underneath this building here and just calling it a storage room. So the plan is simple. We're just going to quickly dig out a big open layout here, and we're going to probably section off from edge to edge, if that makes any sense, where we're going to create separate rooms. For example, we could have everything wood this way, everything stone right over here. Heck, we even have a smelting station somewhere here, but nonetheless, this place is going to feel a lot different. So that is the overall plan for what I have of the storage room. Right after that, I want to go ahead and get started on this house. Probably won't be able to end up making the terrain this episode, but I will for sure try to get this building done just so you guys get some sort of idea of what we're trying to do here. But I will mention this house is blue, meaning we're going to have to get a lot of this, what is it called? The blue wood in the nether, is it? It's the warp stem. I'm pretty sure it's called the warp stem. Stripped, so that way it looks more realistic. But overall, we're going to have a blue house on the blue lake. I hope it looks good. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to bore you guys with the digging process. I'm going to complete that fully and get back with you guys. Progress update. So far, we have hollowed out the interior of this cave, and we have worked outside here, creating some sort of interesting terrain work to kind of hide this little entrance here, because I didn't really want to make this pop out as much. Kind of just, it's kind of there, really. Kind of worked on an interesting design for the roof. Not sure if I 100% like where it stands right now, but as of for now, this will do. Going on inside, we could see that this place is not just a big old box anymore. Instead, it's kind of hollowed out more like a cave. And I've labeled a couple signs here. This first one being the wood area. Like I mentioned earlier, I want to have sections for certain blocks, and this area is more of the everything that has to do with wood. Right over here, this is where the foliage is. That means leaves, anything that has to do with grass, custom terrain. That's gonna come very handy very soon. Then you have the stones. I might end up pushing this back a little bit further just to have more space to work with. And then on the left here, we have anything that has to do with food. So, don't know if that's gonna end up staying. Maybe that's an early game thing, but the more blocks we kind of end up conjuring here, the more we'll just kind of start expanding outwards. Now, of course, I'm not going to keep the place like this. I'm going to have to go and get a whole bunch of resources to get started on a decorating process. This is just an overall idea of exactly what I'm trying to go for. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to expand out again. And I just kind of want to show you guys how it looks on the outside. It feels a little bare on the other sides of this house. I just kind of wanted to, like I said, show you guys a little bit of progress and kind of the idea of what I'm trying to achieve here. And by creating this kind of terrain work around this little bit of a hill. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the interior. Take a look at this beautiful transformation. With a few blocks here and there, it really adds a lot more detail into a space that once was just a plain old canvas. Let's take a moment to really appreciate and just enjoy the amount of detail and character that this place now has. I mean, this place, you could tell, now has a lot more of an atmosphere, of an atmospheric feel. I mean, you could look over here, better than just stacking a whole bunch of chests together. This is the stone area, by the way, if it was obvious. Nothing inside yet, because gotta move everything in. But if we just kind of make our way through this little cave system here, we'll start to realize there's a lot of small details, one of which being this little drain over here that kind of drains out the water, maybe hinting in a drainage system for the building that lays on top, as well as these little copper rods here and there, kind of there's another one, kind of hinting, like I said, at maybe some plumbing that had happened. Over here you have where all the foliage is at. That means leaves, dirt, things to kind of help us out with custom terrain, and that's something we're definitely going to be doing a lot of. Over on top of this little bridge, it goes across this little small river. Still gotta finish that, by the way. We have more storage for the woods, and wood's gonna be big. That's why we have a lot of storage for it. And at the very end over here, we have where the food's gonna be, hinted by the little box of wheat that I kind of had to use a boat to drive over. Not easy, by the way. Anyways, you have a smoker here to kind of, again, help with the smelting of the foods that happen here. And apart from that, this place definitely will need a little bit more touch-ups here and there. And as time goes by, we're going to be adding more and more, possibly even sectioning off from either direction, maybe even under down here. I have this little trap door. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to have, but maybe some room for adjustments and additions later on. But in the comments down below, let me know what you guys think of this place and what else should I add apart from these four main blocks here and there. But now this checks off the box of completing a storage room. What once was just an empty bland square box now has become an actual cave system, and it looks 10 times better. And part of the good reason as to why I decided to build a storage room first was because now we're able to gather resources for our next build to help us stay organized as much as possible, because this is going to require a lot of wood, like I said, a lot of dirt for that custom terrain, as well as lots and lots of leaves. So yeah, we're going to have to take a quick trip to the Nether, get some of those, what is it? Oh man, I forgot what it was called. Oh yeah, warped stem, and you're going to come along with me. Now, it should commonly be known that people don't just go to have a stroll in the Nether, especially when you're underprepared. And I happen to be amongst those people. No enchanted gear, no enchanted weapons. I'm feeling pretty bare here, but nonetheless, we came here for one goal, and that goal is to deforesterize this entire biome. Okay, maybe deforestation is going a little too far. But nonetheless, I have come here to collect some of that nice blue wood. Oh, and we've just come across ourselves a bastion. Now, I'm not quite sure as to how much I'm gonna need, but just to play it safe, at least 10 stacks. And while I'm at it, actually, I might as well get some of this, what is this called? Oh wait, I can't pick this up? Do I need silk touch for this? Oh man, I think I need silk touch. This floor thing, this nether grass. I'm pretty sure it's called warp nylium. But I'm gonna need to come back here with some sort of enchanted pickaxe to get some of this warp nylium. Because I've got a couple plans as for custom terrain work. As well as this. Let me see if you can pick this one up. I'm pretty sure you can. Yep. This will help texturize the build more. Man, I really came underprepared for this. Now, one thing I've kind of noticed in these sort of biomes, I always tend to find Endermen spawn here the most, which can be really helpful, especially if I decide to go to the end soon. Like, looking at this makes me want to build some sort of society here. Oh, who knows, maybe sometime down the line we could create like a nether city. Gotta think about that. Oh, we got an Enderman right here. Alright, did he drop an ender pearl? No ender pearl. Oh, crap. What? Why is this guy running away? Oh, right. I think it's because of these like little mushroom thingies. God, I am not good with names. Real quick, I did notice there being some sort of bastion. I think it came from over here. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay, because I know they have some very good loot in these bastions. It's more of like a high risk, high reward situation. So I think it's going to be worth a shot if we go. That was not a good start. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Okay, that was not a good start. Not a good start at all. But I just want to see what they got in this chest over here. Okay. Oh, what? Ancient debris? Hold on. We got ourselves a diamond shovel. Oh, we already have a diamond shovel. But, I mean, this is good. Very good stuff here. But I know that if I get out of here, I'm going to be ambushed by a whole bunch of piglins. Not the best situation to be in. So, I'm just going to... Oh, all right. Yep. Okay. Yep. Not a good situation. Run! Run! Close this off behind me. Are we safe? I think we're safe. Okay. Box myself in. I can take a quick snack break. We're going to heal up, and we're just going to get out of here. We're not gonna fiddle with our chances here. Wait, is fiddle even a word? We're not gonna play with life. That's what I was trying to say. Whatever, you guys get the idea. So, as in for an update, we have officially lost the area where the nether portal was. I am taking heavy fire from a ghast, and we are screwed. Hold on. I think I remember being in a Soul Sand Valley. I have no idea where we are. Wait, is that... Oh, it's cobblestone. Crap, come on, no! Oh, that was so close. No. Get out of here. Get out of here. Alright. Ow. I do not need this right now. Any remnants? Oh, wait, there's some torches here. Unless I just placed those, which I highly doubt. Wait. That's the fortress. That's the bastion, right? Okay, I'll have to admit I am in no position to go to that fortress at the moment. So I'm just going to quickly save the coordinates. I'm pretty sure I have the portal next to the bastion right here. And if I am in the right place, that should mean it should be over... Yep, here we go. And we are out. We made it back in one piece. But barely. Anyways, we should just about have everything that we need to get started with this build. We got some cobblestone smelting over there just so we could get started on some little bit of terrain work here and there, just because this house needs to actually sit on some piece of land. So I forgot to kind of mention that this is going to be kind of held up by these support beams. I don't know what they're called, but the idea is to kind of have the home sit on top of these support beams. You guys will get the idea. We got some spruce trees over here growing. Don't have a tree farm just yet, but that is something that I'm really actually planning on building in the very near future. And part of the reason why I decided to build the storage room first is for this very reason, and that is to be able to come in and out, get all the materials I need without being too far away from my home base. But the idea is simple. The house will be the centerpiece of it all. We're going to have a whole bunch of terrain work on either side of this lake, and everything is just going to feel so much more immersive. There's going to be an actual atmosphere, but that is enough talking. Let us get started with the build. this right here was the vision I was talking about. Or at least half of it, of course. I think a little bit of explaining is needed. Yeah, those are antennas on top of the house. Didn't really mention that, but the kind of theme or vibe I want to go for here is kind of old style meets technology, kind of. If you want to add some sort of background for this environment, I guess you could say, the idea is whoever's living in this house is not living in the old days. So in a way, it's kind of taking an old house and revamping it by adding new things like technology to kind of adapt to the new era it's in. And if we detach our soul from our body, you guys can kind of tell we added a little bit of terrain work on the side here because it kind of looked a little awkward without it. But one thing I would like to add, especially on the right side over here, is some sort of dish. I think it's a radar dish, because again, this is kind of supposed to be revamped into a modern era. So as I mentioned, the person living in this house is kind of taking this old rustic lake house and kind of just adding their own little adjustments to stay connected to the outside world, because this place is very secluded, especially with all the plans I have. I want to make this seem like a guy living by himself in the middle of nowhere. I hope that makes sense. But if we come and take a closer look, I've added this ladder here as a temporary adjustment for maybe a possible staircase. Don't know how that's gonna work, but anyways, of course, like always, there's no interior. That's something I intend to fix by the next episode. But I know for a fact that we're gonna make something very, very nice out of this. Just trust the process, right? In the back here, you can't really notice it, but I've added a little bit of a water tank. I plan on somehow connecting it to the house to kind of make it seem like the person living here is kind of maybe possibly collecting rainwater, filtering it out, and using it as their own watering system. And again, to add some sort of radar dish over here on the side, I'm gonna say this right now, radar dishes are not easy to build because they're on a curve and it took me a couple of tries. So that's gonna be something else to add to the list of things to get done for the next episode. And for the sake of understanding, I built this pine tree right here on the side of the house so you guys could better understand what it is I'm going for here. Again, this entire open body of water is going to be closed off on either side, and we're just going to be surrounded by a whole bunch of trees. And one thing I definitely want to add is an overgrown willow tree right here on the side to kind of shade the house. Because one thing I dislike about this area is the open sunlight that it receives. So hopefully by adding a whole bunch of trees here and there, we can kind of cast a shadow over the building, giving it a much needed atmospheric vibe. So please do let me know what you guys think of this build, if you guys have any suggestions on some things to add here and there, and maybe to help fit the theme that I'm going for here. Any and all critiques are highly appreciated. But nonetheless, I think this is a good start on our forever world here. We have the storage room that we built in the beginning of the episode, which looks great. I plan to expand that, and we made a start on our base. Soon we will be adding the terrain work that will surround this house, which I am very much looking forward for. But that right there just about wraps it up for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I plan to continue this series, so a like or possibly even a subscribe will go a long way. And with that being said, my name is Ultra161, and I will see you guys in the next episode.